There are 4 matches left in the 2004 Super 12, and this is the last of the log section, and everything depending on a South African participation in the semi-finals, on a Stormers win. For many weeks, the faithful down here at the Absa Stadium felt that their team had a chance not just of reaching the semi-finals, but of having a home semi-final. Unfortunately, that's the way they stand at the moment, in 8th position on the log. It's the 5th position that we're talking about, importantly. At the moment, the Stormers on 28 points. If they go to 32 points and improve their points for and against by 9, it will then go down to who beat who in the log.
It'll be a tough one. It has always been a derby that has been fireworks, to say the least. This afternoon will be no different.
Yeah, interesting thing is that these sides have met 6 times in the Super 12. Only 2 wins for the Sharks, 4 for the Stormers. Now, the Stormers have made a couple of changes, and principally at fly half, with Khafi de Toy coming in for Chris Rousseau, and the 2 wings, Tonderai Shavanga, probably the quickest thing in South Africa at the moment, and Gus Taron on the other wing, also a little bit of a gas merchant. And that was in the days when the Stormers felt that they had to score tries in order to qualify for the semi-finals. We now know, of course, that they can get through to the semi-finals without scoring those 4 tries. However, we're all looking for a fast and open game, an opening that will see plenty of tries. The Sharks, they had a couple of injury worries, as we welcome our domestic viewers with the news that is the Sharks line-up. Brent Russell and AD Jacobs, they were under an injury cloud during the week, but they've come through that. It'll be interesting to see whether they are fully fit. Well, Brent Russell's got 7 tries this year, a couple more, and he'll be right up there at the top. Khafi de Toy's got a couple as well, and be interesting to see how he kicks today, both from hand and off the tee. Butch James, he's been informed with the boot this year, and of course this is the last game for any of the South African players to just put a little tick in their name in Jake White's box for the first Springbok Team of the Year. Away we go, final match in log play of the Super 12, and immediately John Smith, the incoming Springbok captain, gets that turnover ball, but there's been a little nudge forward and they'll come back for the scrum.
Cross forward scrum, white ball. Nice and close, guys. Crouch and hold.
Big scrum wanted by the Stormers here, especially on the tight end side.
Get it in.
Kenradi with the feed for the Stormers.
9. Get out of there, 9.
Pretty secure, and an early move from Noel Ulshich has been penalised.
Number 9. Front of the ball.
That's Charles van Rensburg wearing number 7. He'll be pleased to be back on the flank, having at one stage looked as if he was going to serve out the rest of his days as a lock.
Khafi de Toy with his favourite boot, the left. Make sure with his touch, but already offside play there by Ulshich, and a penalty given to the Stormers.
Peter Dixon to put it in on the Sharks' 10-metre line, and the first one has gone astray, and through comes Russell Winter to win it for the Sharks. Good handoff from him. Quick ball available for Ulshich, taken on by Smith. Good tackle by Berger. Ulshich. James, first touch in anger, and there goes Trevor HALSTEAD. Was that forward to AD Jacobs? It hasn't been blown, and Jacobs scores!
Well, that's a great start by the Sharks. Not what the Stormers wanted, but Jacobs shows inside, outside. He's got the pace, and he makes no mistake with the 5 points.
Well, I'll be very interested to see your opinion on this pass now, Corbus.
Long pass by James there, HALSTEAD. Might have been slightly forward-handing, but the referee Mark Lawrence says it's all okay, and he allows the try. Good handoff there by HALSTEAD. Look from that angle also maybe a couple of centimetres forward, but the fact remains the Sharks have drawn first blood.
Yes, the other important thing is that AD Jacobs there has scored in section number 6, which means 3,000 rand goes to eye care. There are 6 charities that the Sharks in-goal area is supporting, and that far one for eye care. So 3,000 rand to them. Butch James to make it into a 7-pointer.
He's been the informed fly-up in South Africa, no doubt this year.
He's been kicking it well. He struck that well enough, but just pushing it to the right of the upright. So it's the Sharks who lead early on, 5-0.
As Andy said earlier, struggled with an injury earlier this week, but he looked fine with that try. Great hands there by HALSTEAD in the tackle, got it away. Jacobs steps inside and he beats Van der Greef hands down for 5 points.
He's had a great year with the Sharks as AD Jacobs. A lot of people thought that his career was over, but he's only 24 years old. Ulshik with the kick from the base. Badenhorst is underneath it. Oh, and he got hit hard by Butch James. Made his presence felt. Van der Greef is in there wrestling for the ball. And it's coming out on the Sharks side by the looks of things. And in fact, they've won a penalty.
Holding on. Too many goes at it. All right? You must place the ball.
Big question this afternoon is going to be, is the forwards of the Stormers going to stand up to that tight five of the Sharks?
Push.
Now, what are the Sharks going to do here? Yes, they're going to kick at posts. And the worst possible start, really, Kubus, for the Stormers. An early try and now a chance to make it 8-0.
Good follow-up there by Butch James, and he drives Badenhorst back. Good work by the fly-off. Clearance there by the forwards. Russell's there. And then clear offside play. Van der Greef not rolling away.
So 40 metres out for Butch James and just to the left of the uprights. Done an awful lot of work on his kicking technique over the last 6 to 12 months. It has paid off. And as I say that, he's missed another one. First one was just past the right hand upright. That one was just past the left hand upright. But he struck both of them sweetly.
Hold.
Eddie Andrews is the tight head who's really done well under pressure for the Stormers this year. Had a very good start to the season. Not out yet, Ulshik. James running across the park, but finding Russell in space. That's a good pass out to Ricardo Loebscher. Takes it on the inside. Can he make it available? There it is. Russell Winter is sacked by Scoutberger. But the Sharks will have the pudding.
Again, the Sharks throwing the ball wide. Russell joining the line. And he gets Loebscher away. He's got plenty of pace. Still position kept by the Sharks, moving forward.
There's the man who made the tackle.
Don't anticipate in the engage, please. Come on. What's in there, Andy?
Great long pass there by the fly-off. Butch James looking for support. He steps inside, beats Joubert. But great cover defense by the vet Barry.
Yes, he makes some wonderful tackles during any game, does the vet Barry. Ulshik, James. Lovely pass on the inside to HALSTEAD, and he got the offload away to Luke Watson. Watson struggling to release the ball. Ulshik, Smith, and that's Charles van Rensburg. Hits it up to the 22. Quick ball available. Sharks looking good here. Henno Mens taking them on with the pace of the man. He's through. Henno Mens has got the try. Try number 2 for the Sharks. And this one has gone to the Chris Berger Petra Jackson Fund.
I'm sure Moin du Plessis will be smiling. Great try by Mens. He's used his chances this year and he's played some incredible good rugby for the Sharks. Again showing his pace, getting out of the tackle, and he goes around for the second try of the Sharks. Great pace, poor defence by Van der Greef, but a great handoff. And over he goes for 5 more.
Well, it's looking a little bit grim for the Stormers, isn't it, Corbus?
No doubt, good build up there by the loose forwards, especially Charles van Rensburg. Ulshik gets it wide, he gets the call from Mens, weighing up his options. Not great defence, but he keeps going with Russell. Say, go my mate, 5 points are waiting.
Well, Noel Ulshik is taking the kick because Butch James is down injured. And Ulshik has got it. And the Sharks lead by 12 points to 0, but there'll be a lot of concern about Butch James.
Looks like a knee injury, Andy. It looks quite serious also.
Big shove, but it is available. Ulshik, poor pass, taken by HALSTEAD. Loebscher. That's a clever little kick, but Conradi doesn't mind it. Oh, and Skalkberger's knocked it on. Now here's a chance as Luke Watson runs into open space. Throws it out to Dion Kaiser. He's got Russell with him. Kaiser with the stab through. Krief has got it and takes it into touch for the Stormers.
Great turnover by the Sharks. Luke Watson started it all, and clever little play by Kaiser. And the Sharks back with the in the 22 of the Stormers. Knock on there by Berger, but great pick up by Luke Watson. And he stretches his legs. Great little flip pass to Kaiser. Right decision. Puts a little jab through, and he chases Krief. No choice but is to guide the ball over the touchline.
Great attacking platform this for the Sharks. Got a feeling this is the first time John Smith has actually put the ball into a line-out in this game. So where's it going? Johan Muller's at the front, but it looks as if it's going to Johan Ackerman. In fact, no, it was Russell Winter it was aimed at. He missed it. Stormers are making a little bit of a mess of it. Gus Turon running back towards the touchline. This is Peter Dixon now. Fires the pass to Dutoy. It's gone a long way, but not in touch. Kaiser. And this is Loubser. Enno Mens looking for the outside break and shrugs off the attempted tackle. That's gone forward eventually from Loubser, but the Sharks playing with great confidence now. Taken quickly. Krief gets it away to Skalkberger. Picked up by Badenhorst, who's tackled by Ackerman. Halfway line now. Conradi, Dutoy, who was standing very deep in the pocket on that occasion. Hubert to Andrews. Still haven't got in front of the gain line. And they'll come back for a penalty for slowing it down against the Sharks.
Listen, let go. You're slowing the ball down with your hand. Let go. 4.
Johan Ackerman, the guilty party there. But slowly but surely, the Stormers finding little bits of rhythm and momentum.
The former Pretoria policeman.
Off the ball. Arms in those tackles.
Dutoy sets the line out on the Sharks 22.
Good hands there by Adrian Jacobs, but then Russell on the line with the wet Barry in his face, couldn't control that ball.
Dixon. Badenhorst can't hang on, but it hasn't gone forward. Selborne Boom drives it over the 22. This is a promising looking movement for the Stormers. Still got control of this ball. Conradi, Dutoy, Barry, good offload. It's well played by Badenhorst. An advantage being played as Devet Barry looks for some space, gets it wide to Eddie Andrews. Peter Dixon! The Stormers are on the board, and what a move that was with the two members of the front row.
As I said earlier, they're finding their rhythm and momentum, and it showed just there. Dixon rounding it off. Good play by the Stormers. An important drive for them in this stage of the game. Hookers are always happy scoring tries, and so will Peter Dixon be. A good change by Barry. Good hands. Inside pass by Eddie Andrews. Brilliant to his hooker. And like I said, he runs and he puts it down.
Oh, it's lovely to see the backs working with the tight forwards here, isn't it?
Very good hands there by Eddie Andrews. Dixon wasn't standing around taking photographs. He followed up beautifully. Support play and a well-rounded off try by the Stormers.
So Khafi Dutoy shouldn't have a problem with this conversion, and this will bring the Stormers back into the game. And he's got it. So just 5 points between the sides now, and that nightmare half an hour is over for the Stormers thanks to the try from Peter Dixon. Skalkberger wins it. Got 5 minutes left at half-time. Conradi, Dutoy, Barry, he's missed Krief, but it has reached Gus Turon, and Turon's done particularly well. Gets it up to the 10-metre line. Dutoy, Badenhorst, Oh, that was general play, and the Sharks have turned it over again. Bullshit. That was Jacobs firing the pass out. HALSTEAD with the up and under. Krief's underneath it. Oh, and that's a high tackle. That'll be a penalty. That might even be a yellow card. It's Russell Winter. It's dangerous play. Well, it is a yellow card. Well, that's unfortunate because he's not a dirty player, but I think when he looks at the replay, he'll realise that he's got his just desserts.
Absolutely, I think more of a reaction. He's an honest, hard player. Unfortunately, him, a quick reaction cost him a yellow card.
Well, I suppose if you believe in deja vu and you're a Stormers supporter, you'll be a bit worried now. The opposition are down to 14 men.
Going up well, Krief there. And then, yes, no doubt by Mark Lawrence, it is dangerous play. He had no choice. You cannot also touch the man while in air, going for the ball in any way.
Dixon to Boom. Conradi with good hands. Has to take it back to the forwards. Oh, this is Scoutberger. Scoutberger has brought the scores level.
And the crowd is stunned, so is the Sharks. Very important try for the Stormers on half-time.
Well, he emerged from a ruck of bodies scot-free.
He was right in front there. Got the ball, nobody in front, and one way only for a try. Kept his cool, kept possession of that ball. He's a big man, but he's got pace, and he's over.
Yes, he picked that ball up on the 22-metre line, and he's a very fine cricketer, so he knows what to do with 22 metres. This is for the lead for the Stormers. 3 minutes to go to half-time. And Hafi de Toy has knocked it through. Wow, what a change in the game.
First 20, 22 minutes was all the Sharks. In the last 12 or so, the Stormers have come back strongly in this game. Good dummy there by Conradi, kept his cool. And there he linked up with Burgo, got the ball and went right through the middle. One way only, and that's behind the white line.
It all looked simple when you saw it from that replay, but I think there were a few people, myself included, who had no idea where he came from when he first got the try. Selborne Boom takes the restart. Is that the beginning of something good for the Stormers? They've still got another 8 minutes to go of 15 against 14.
Advantage.
Peter Dixon. Conradi. Krief. It's a nasty bounce. Shavanga is coming up on Lobsha. Lobsha wants to pass it to Ments and does so. Ments has hit an enormous one downfield. Krief. He's deciding to take them on his own. Might have been the wrong option there. There were men lining up to his left. Du Toit looking for the corner. Is that the perfect kick? Yes, it is. Oh, it's come back in. He's been very unlucky there. It looked as if it was going into touch, and eventually they'll come back for... Well, it did go into touch. The touch judge was a little slow in getting there.
In the end, a great kick by Hafi de Toy with the left boot, putting the Stormers back on attack right on half-time.
That's one scenario. 9 points to reach the semi-final. If they were to score 4 tries and win by 5 points, they'd finish third. This is Berger. Just 10 metres out now. There's been a real sea change in this game. Du Toit. The reverse pass to allow the forwards to come back in. Conradi with the lateral run. Du Toit, Devet Barry, Krief, Shavanga in touch, a metre out. That might be the last action of the first half.
The Stormers throwing everything at the line of the Sharks now. And on half-time, that was the score, 14-12. Good hands by Krief, Hubert. But out on the corner, Shavanga.
So that's the way it looks, 2 tries each. And the Stormers, who trailed 12-0 for a long period of time, turn around 14-12 to the good. It's looking good for them.
The player to recover obviously quicker, because that is the enemy of every injury, is the bleeding in the muscle. The more the bleeding, obviously, the longer the recovery.
Well, what about that? John Smith, Springbok captain, is off. Skipper Badenhorst is on. And we didn't see an injury, but we have to assume that there is one. Here's Eddie Andrews shoveling it out to Devet Barry, running into his opposite number. Conradi quickly available. Stormers look full of running early in this second period. Here goes Quinton Davids with the offload. Peter Dixon and Sandro Shabanga. Shabanga gets try number 3 for the Stormers. And it's all looking rosy now.
Well, they certainly are very much back in the game. Great start of the second half by the Stormers. Great hands down the line to that man Shabanga with plenty of pace, and he showed us why.
Now, as this pass from Peter Dixon.
Good change of direction there by the scrum half. Getting it away, the forwards. Dixon again there with great offload to Shabanga. And he just piles on the pace and goes over.
Well, I think Peter Dixon will be putting this in his personal list of video clips. He'll say there's nothing to it, scoring tries when you get service like that.
He'll probably make a few copies and send it to all his fans.
So, Hafi de Toy with a chance now to stretch the lead. And he has hooked it. Never mind. It's 19-12 to the Stormers, and you just saw 2 of the 3 try scorers. Schalkberg is the other one. One more, and they'll feel that they're halfway to the semis.
So that made the try. One of the things that changed the direction by Conradi, and then great hands by a couple of players. Quinton Davids, Dixon, made it easier for that man to go over in the corner. Still 7 points of difference between these two sides. Good take, good cover by the flanker, steps inside, hands off. Ulshich keeps the ball alive, good play by the flanker, and then pick and drive by Selborne Boom, set up. Greef, the fullback, is there.
Hands off!
Now, this is Russell Winter, and this is Brent Russell. Luke Watson, just overran it a little bit there. Nico Briet has been introduced to the game in no uncertain terms by that tackle. And it's turnover ball. Daan Human got hands to it. Hafi de Toy. And quick ball for Werner Greef. Greef's a free. Greef's going to get the bonus point try for the Stormers. And that one is 3,000. No, it's not.
Great drive by the fullback with pace. He picked up that ball. He broke the line and had one way to go. And that's for the 5 points. Great play by the Stormers.
That has relieved some of the pressure.
Good vision by Hafi de Toy. Great hands. Greef joined the line at the right time with pace. Brilliant play by him. And there was one way only, and that's to get behind that line. They showed a lot of character, the Stormers. They come back strong in this game. Determination on his face, and he scores.
It's lovely footage that, showing the good sprinting technique. Ball very secure, and well, the Stormers are breathing a little easier now. They've got that bonus point, and that has brought into the equation the possibility of not having to go to Canberra. De Toy's kick is good. Lovely kick.
Again, great kick by the fly. He has had a great game tonight, Hafi de Toy. A vital try by that man, the fullback Werner Greef. Joined the line at the right time with pace, and he was away. Good turnover there, scooped up. De Toy did very well to get that ball wide, but look at that, running at an angle, running with pace, and he broke the advantage line. and he was away.
Yeah, reminiscent in some ways of that famous try that he scored for the Springboks against Australia at Ellis Park, where it was all about the angle and pace at which he took the ball. Now, change at scrum half for the Sharks. Dave van Heslin is on, wearing number 20. Badenhorst, Krief. Good kick from Werner Krief. Now, one thing the Stormers mustn't do from here, Corbis, is try to sit on it.
No doubt. They've got to go all the way right to the 80th minute. Van Heslin's coming on for Ulship for the Sharks. So fresh pair of legs on the scrum half.
Badenhorst flings it all the way over the top to Van Heslin.
Hands off, advantage. Tackler not releasing.
Advantage being played to the Sharks. Remember, the Sharks are only playing for pride in this game. They made a sterling start, but the loss of Butch James does seem to have really pricked the balloon. Van Heslin. This is Nico Breert. Russell with the little pop pass on the inside to skipper Badenhorst. Van Heslin. BJ Buerta. He's been one of the heroes of the Sharks this year. And that'll be a penalty to the Sharks. Taken quickly. Luke Watson. Breert. Kutsia. Keeping it tight, the Sharks. This is where they were expected to really play most of the game against the Stormers. Hasn't been the case. Russell bouncing around, looking for space.
Now we take a timeout.
They'll come all the way back. It could conceivably be a yellow card here.
Come, you're lying off your feet and you're holding onto the ball. Get off it. Where's the captain? Where's the captain? Come on, there's 3 infringements in a row. Guys holding on, slowing it down. I'm going to do the same to them as I'm going to do to you as well, eh? Right, what do you want to do?
Well, that was quite clearly explained by Mark Lawrence. Eddie Andrews, the guilty party.
Well, bit of a disaster while you were watching that replay. The Sharks, looking to set up a line out, kicked it touching goal. And that means that the Stormers will have a dropout.
Also one of the reasons the Sharks that this season at critical times and critical games they made basic mistakes like that which cost them dearly.
The toy goes deep. Taken in by Loubser. He's got Breert with him. And Breert is free. Over the 10-metre line he goes. Skipper Badenhorst up to the 22. Quickly available. Van Heslin, Russell. Oh, Russell, how did he do that? That's a magnificent try for Trevor HALSTEAD. Give the Purple Heart to Brent Russell right now.
Great try, all started by Nico Breert, who charged to the middle of the field like a runaway tank. Gained lots of yards and then got it away. Finished by that man HALSTEAD, but Russell had a great hand also in that drive. Loubser, short pass to Breert, breaks the tackle and away he goes, looking for support. Good pass to Badenhorst, who sets it up. Great quick ball on the blind side for Van Heslin. Russell steps in and out through the gap. Brilliant pass to HALSTEAD, who scores.
Well, you have a look at this. There's 5 Stormers around Brent Russell, and suddenly they're all behind him. He's a magician.
Should we give him the name Merlin, perhaps?
Merlin's a good call. He's got a Jack Russell called Rocket, you won't be surprised to know. And is he going to draw it round? Oh, unfortunate, hit the post. Well, it hasn't really brought the Sharks back into the game, but it's worth watching again.
Barnes did very well, but it was a great quick ball. Blindside by Van Heslin. and then it's set up, and the final pass to perfection.
Now, here's an interesting moment because John Smith is coming back onto the field. So one can only assume that he was off in the blood bin. Here he is. Yeah, I wonder whether we can see some stitches or something, or whether some skullduggery's gone on there. Chris Rousseau is coming on for the Stormers, which is an interesting move. Neil de Kock is also coming on. Now, does that mean that the two halfbacks are leaving the field? Bola Conrady's going off. No, Werner Greef is leaving the field. Werner Greef looks as if he's just picked up an injury. And Khafi du Toit stays where he is. Oh, men in front of the kicker. No, not men in front of the kicker. There were still players leaving the field, so they'll have the kick again.
All right, son, it's okay. Let's play on now. There we go, behind you. Time on.
He's varied his game quite well tonight, Khafi du Toit.
Yeah, I think the other thing that Gert Smal, the coach of the Stormers, will be pleased about was the change at scrum half was allegedly to give them a little bit more width because Conrady's a little bit freer player, and it certainly has worked. They scored 4 tries. He's now off the field, and Neil de Kock is on. Van Heslin, Loubser, and here goes Van Heslin. He's found some space. Looking for a runner. This is Nicol Briet. Picked up by Winter. And John Smith back in the action, crashing through the tackle of Skalkberger. Makes it available. Brent Russell back on the inside to Edward Coetzee. He's had a good game in the loose. Change of angle. Russell. Loubser. Briet. Couldn't quite get the pass away. It was knocked backwards by a Stormers player. And this is de Kock. Coming down on the halfway line. Well done by Russell Winter, but a good tackle from Hendrik Herber. Yeah, the Sharks have got to start again. Here goes Brent Russell. Merlin's away again. Luke Watson. Adi Jacobs finding Trevor Halstead, and this is Kaiser. Away goes John Smith. Runner on the inside is Jacobs. Jacobs gets it up to the 22. The Sharks coming back into this game now. Van Heslin wins the ball back on the ground as it came flying out. The Stormers have turned it over. De Kock. Oh, lovely play. That was Hubert. Chris Rousseau with his first touch of the ball.
Hands off now.
De Kock. This is Peter Dixon. What was he doing there? Under pressure, but he's done well to recover. Out it comes. Tonderai Shavanga. He's hit that a mile. It's a huge kick from Tonderai Shavanga, and he's flying up after it. The return kick from Trevor Halstead is equally good.
Good passage of play by both sides. Shavanga showing he can also kick the ball a mile. Good interplay here by the Sharks. Forwards and backs keeping it alive. Jacobs driving forward and then setting it up again.
Well, look at that. Sharks have only had 6 lineouts in the whole match. Selborne Boomers won the bulk of the ball for the Stormers in their lineouts. De Kock. Du Toit. Looking to just try and keep the Sharks pinned in their own half. Oh, well, it went over the line, then bounced back the other way. Ricardo Loubser had to play it. Fires the pass. Heno Mentz running into his own man, but he wasn't blocking a tackler, so play is allowed to continue. The Stormers look as if they might have turned it over. Yes, Neil de Kock's got it. Chris Rousseau's making a run. There's space out wide here for the Stormers. Rousseau with the pass, and Badenhorst couldn't hang on. This is Luke Watson. John Smith. John Smith with a big kick into space. Tonderai Shavanga. Now he's got lots of time here. Is he going to use that pace? Well, he's not going to get a chance to, because Jacobs shut him down very quickly. This is trouble for the Stormers. They're struggling to get men back. Watson. That had to go wide quicker than that. Van Heslin and Winter. Stormers looking very tired now as they retreat into the defensive line. Van Heslin. Russell. Tackled by Gus Chiron.
Yep.
Nico Briet. Halstead. Tackled by Neil de Kock. There's a real pile of players there now. Jacobs, that wasn't a great pass. Charles van Rensburg couldn't hang on to it, so it's turnover ball. Now, can the Stormers do something from here? De Kock finds Barry. Well, once again, there might be a few people worried that the Stormers have suddenly decided to kick everything away. This is Luke Watson. And that is in touch. Really was his position for many years. Eddie Andrews only recently moved to tight end and done a very good job for his team. Sharks in control. Pick up by Winter. Van Heslin is well policed. That was a good tackle from Chris Rousseau. Now he must get out of the way. Well, he was rucked out of the way. Nothing wrong with that. Smith. Briet. Desperate defence from the Stormers. Edward Katsia. Still those tackles are being made. Solly Chibalika's in there working it free. Van Heslin. They're over the line. That's a try. We'll have to wait and see who's last up. Is it John Smith? Yes, it is.
The Sharks kept their cool, kept chipping away at the defence of the Stormers, and in the end, the wall just crushed. John Smith powering his way through for a try.
It looked inevitable from a few set pieces back.
Good little inside pass there by the scrum half, Van Heslin. And John Smith was there with the help of Nico Briet, and he just crashed over.
Brent Russell in front of the post, but nothing's a formality for him with the boot. He has to make up for being a magician in all other areas of the game, but he has converted that one, and that's a significant score because there are just 2 points between the sides now. It's anyone's game. 11 minutes left. Oh dear, and we've already lost our fingernails.
It's tight, and we knew it was going to be tight from the start. Stormers still leading slightly with those 2 points.
Yes, remember, the important thing is that they must win. Just because they've scored 4 tries, the Stormers are not in the semi-finals. They must win the game. Now, the Stormers have made a lot of changes, and I wonder whether tactically that was a good thing to do. This is A.D. Jacobs running onto the ball at pace, always looking dangerous. Henno Ments, and this is Charles van Rensburg. Chibalika makes it available. Loebscher, Van Heslin. Been a live wire since he came on. Advantage being played for slowing it down. A.D. Jacobs is swamped, and the Sharks will have their penalty.
I'm going to talk to you again. Holding on.
Mark Lawrence has been quite strict this afternoon with the tackler and the man with the ball. Should release as soon as possible when on the ground.
That's in touch from Ricardo Loebscher, and the Sharks will have to put him to the scrum. Tail ball. Van Heslin takes, and that's a big tackle from Chris Rousseau, but it's still available for the Sharks, who are playing on pure adrenaline now. Russell picks up, flings it wide to Scharf and Rensburg. Dixon makes the tackle. Van Heslin still working the short side. BJ Butter takes it over the 22. Inside the last 10 minutes, and the Sharks are finishing the stronger. Oh, it's gone forward. The Stormers breathe again. Does that look like danger?
No advantage knocked on. Scrum white ball.
Remember, there's no pressure on the Sharks. They're swinging the ball from all angles. The Stormers need to win because they've already scored those 4 tries, and they'll be travelling back to New Zealand for the playoffs.
Let's go.
Assuming that they win by more than 4 points. If they win by less than 4 points, they'll be going to Canberra.
Stay.
De Kock. Marius Joubert, what was he doing in the fly half berth? This is Loebscher. It's a tantalising hanging kick, taken in by De Kock, but not cleanly. He's done well at the second grab. Sharks there to try and turn it over, and it's going to be a knock-on against De Kock. Oh, the crowd is getting up behind their side now.
It could be a vital knock-on in favour of the Sharks. De Kock, normally very gifted player, has got good hands. That's time. Let him down.
So, close quarters contest now. Stormers 22. 2 points between the teams. And the Sharks with the pudding. There's Helen Milsom, who lives and dies with the Stormers. She's the physio. Van Heslin. And it comes to HALSTEAD. HALSTEAD. Offload to Jacobs. Still going. Dion Kaiser. This is HALSTEAD again. HALSTEAD in touch, just a metre out.
Desperate defence there by the Stormers, because HALSTEAD is a strong man and he powered his way towards that line. And he was tackled out in the corner. Vital defending line out for the Stormers. 6 minutes left in this game. HALSTEAD did very well. They're loading off in the tackle to Jacobs. Then the Sharks powers on. Again they play wide. HALSTEAD dummy. And in the end, into touch.
Here's Adri Badenhorst, upended by Solly Chibalika. Neil De Kock, happy to toy, must find touch, and he hasn't. Oh, he has. Oh, misjudgment by Dion Kaiser.
Great kick in the end by De Toy. Relieves a lot of pressure on the Stormers.
Oh, Kubish, you said a mouthful. Great kick. He's taken play from his own goal line to the opposition 22. How significant may that kick be? John Smith to put it in for the Sharks. Russell Winter takes. Back it comes from Van Heslin. Kaiser trying to make amends, and away he goes, straight through the middle. This is Brent Russell. Oh, and a gang tackle on Russell snuffs out the movement. There's still chances, not now, it's gone forward. Marius Joubert wins it back for the Stormers, and advantage is being played. Back it comes to Chris Rousseau. Little chip over the top. Peter Dixon is the man who's chasing it. What a game he's had.
Good play by Kaiser. Through the gap. Russell gets the ball. But great defence there by De Kock and Gafi Du Toit at the same time on Russell.
Neil De Kock got hurt in that tackle. He's still down. And in fact, he's leaving the field now with what looks like a broken nose. Now, Bolokonradi has come back on, but I'm afraid he's not allowed to. Bolokonradi cannot come back on. He's not a tight forward, Neil de Kock, and Bolokonradi has already been substituted. Well, I don't know what's going on now. Taken by Russell Winter. Sharks mauling it towards their own 10-metre line. The Stormers are desperate to keep the Sharks in their own half. There's 4 minutes left in this game, and the Stormers lead by 2. Van Heslin tackled by Willem Stoltz. That was an important hit. They're all important now. John Smith.
Hands off White.
Shivalika. Tackled by Eddie Andrews. Well, the Stormers are out on their feet. There's people just standing around. Can they keep it going long enough to win this game? Gus Turon is heavily tackled by Henno Mens. Gets it back. Now, I believe that is an unregistered player, effectively, who's just played the ball. Bolokonradi. It's taken up by Peter Dixon. And it comes from Chris Rousseau to Adri Badenhorst. This is Herber. Flinging it wide. Shavanga cutting back on the inside. Looking for a ball carrier. And through the hands it goes to Conradi. This is Marius Joubert. The Stormers finishing strongly. If they can score here, they will surely be in the semi-finals. Big hit coming through on Willem Stoltz. Conradi. Rousseau. Herber. It's all about pride now for both sides. Rousseau. Joubert quickly through the hands to Beck-Barry. He's got Skalberger with him. Berger has got the try, and the Stormers are in the semi-finals. Well, what a finish to the game. There are people lying prone on the field. They've given their all, every last drop, and Skalberger's second try in the game is going to be the moment that sees the Stormers through to the semi-finals and surely to Christchurch against the Crusaders. And it wasn't a formality, was it? That's brilliant handling at the end of the day by Skalberger, but I still have to come back to what is Bolokonradi doing on the field. He had been substituted. He can't come back onto the field just because the scrum half has gone off. Skalberger done himself a little bit of mischief in going over. That's our man of the match, Peter Dixon. He's had an absolute storming game for the Stormers. He's put the ball into the lineouts well, which was an area of panic for the Stormers at the beginning of the season. And his play in the loose has been quite outstanding. Now, Happy de Toy, if this goes over, it's a 9-point gap. It is all over. Technically, if it doesn't go over, there's only 7 points between the sides, and the Sharks could still snatch a draw, and a draw would eliminate the Stormers. Neil de Kock is back on the field, incidentally, and Stephen Brink is on for the Sharks. The conversion attempt is not good. There are 7 points between the sides and a minute left in the game. Could it possibly be more dramatic? This is the final moments of a movement that involved 7 or 8 phases for the Stormers. Brilliant finishing from Skalberger. Now the Stormers have to control the ball and let the clock tick down. The stadium clock says 0 and the clock on your screen says 40. That's off the field. Is it all over? Yes, it is. The Stormers are in the semi-finals. They have come to the ABSA Stadium and done what they needed to do. They finished 3rd in the log section of the Super 12, and that means that they will go back to Christchurch next week to play against the Crusaders, the side they lost to last week.